What up? It's your boy Lee Love, representing NFC East and NBA Streets and Eagles over everything. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Send a chat down at the bottom so I can get this shit right and get this motherfucking Eagle news out to y'all. This Spurs news NBA Street show. So subscribe to NFC East and NBA Streets. And also, I'll be getting you a page on Eagles over everybody and Spurs over everything. So I wanted to get into 3 topics with y'all today. I wanted to talk about Cooper Flag, and I wanted to talk about the Knicks. Number 2, they dead. They going to rest. They going to Cancun. I'm in my black. I'm at their funeral. So we going to see what they do next year. We're going to talk about them for the last time. And also we're going to get into OKC and the Pacers a little bit. All right. So, number 1, Cooper Flag. A lot of people not going to like this, or they probably disagree with this, but I don't think Cooper Flag can be a number 1 on one of the best teams. So what I mean by that is, like, you see how Anthony Edwards, we know that's his team. He took him to the Eastern Conference Finals, or, you know, how he do. Also, Luka, like when Luka was in Dallas, Luka was the man. Luka was the best player on the team for sure. So can Cooper Flag be the best player on the best team like a Luka or like a Dirk Nowitzki was? I just don't see it. I just don't see it. Maybe, I'm not saying he garbage. I'm not saying he trash. But I think that I don't think he could get a bucket when you need him to get a bucket down the stretch like a lead player do. I think everything comes in the flow of the game. Yeah, he get on the break, he get his dunks and everything. Yeah, cool. All right, cool. I'm cool with that. I'm not saying he's not talented, but can he be the best player on the best team like Larry Bird was? I just don't see it. So I don't even think he the best player in the draft. I think Ace Bailey has been, I've been looking at a lot of tape, and I think he better than Dylan Harper, and I think he better than Cooper Flag. I wasn't on that boat at first, but now that I'm starting to see, I'm kind of hoping the Spurs pick Ace Bailey at the 2, and that'd be super, super dope. That'd be super dope. So that's all I wanted to say about the Cooper Flag. We could come back to this, and y'all can let me know what y'all got to say about Cooper Flag in the chat. So now we're going to get to these Knicks. They fired the coach. All right, they fired the coach. Now he got y'all to the conference championship, and the furthest they ever been in 25, 30 years. And they had like 13 coaches since before Thibs, and none of them was doing their job, and Thibs got them there. So this is how you reward them. You fire the nigga. Crazy. That's crazy. But hey, I understand it though. So now when you get the next coach in, the next coach is going to have to have high expectations. So he should take them past the, Eastern Conference Championship, because that's where they was at. You feel what I'm saying? So he should take them to the championship. Now his expectations, if you don't win the championship, you out the door too. So, I just didn't like the way they did this, but I do understand. I do understand why they fired him, but on the other hand, that was a bad decision, I feel. Because I feel like the roster is not even a championship roster. I feel like Thibs got the most out of the Knicks. That was all he could, you know what I mean? Like, it's all you could squeeze out of the orange. You know what I mean? That's all you could do. It ain't no more left. So I think he took them as far as he could take them, and they gave him the boot. Well, I just don't think that was right. You gave up 5 picks for Mikal Bridges. He ain't even never been an all-star. How you give up 5 picks for somebody who never been an all-star? That's super duper crazy. Now, Cat, that was already Thibs' boy. Brought him in. He don't play no D. That ain't what Thibs about. Thibs teams usually play good defense. You know what I mean? So when your best player, Brunson, could be a liability at times, and Cat, when they do the switch, Cat is in trouble. And they go at Cat. So I just don't feel like two of your best players could be the worst defensive players on the team and you could win a championship. I just don't feel like that can happen because they got to be on the floor for offense. So if they off the floor because they getting in foul trouble, then I don't feel like that's going to help you. And then Cat do his heroics every now and then, but he really not, considered that. All right. So that's really what I had to say about the Knicks. We'll see what happens with them next year. But my Spurs is coming back real crazy next year. So we ain't really going to be talking about the Knicks unless they make some noise. They're going to get a new coach, which I'm hoping they had a plan in motion because they fired a good coach. He's won everywhere he's been. All right. And when he lost, he was losing to LeBron. So who didn't lose to LeBron around that time? You know what I mean? So we're going to go with that. Get rid of the Knicks. Funeral, all black. They gone. They in Cancun. We moving forward after this. So we ain't going to talk about the Knicks no more. We'll see what they do next year and what they do in the off season, who they bring in as coach. But it ain't going to be too much Knicks talk. I'm done with the Knicks. All right. And another thing I wanted to talk to y'all about was the Pacers and the Thunder. So I'm starting to feel like the Pacers might be able to win a couple games. I think they could win a couple games. Do I think they could win the championship? Nah, I wouldn't bet my money on it. So we got a good matchup. You got two of the best guards. You got SGA and you got Halliburton. And we're going to see the matchup. The game actually starts tonight. We're going to see how it go. I'm going to watch this first one just to get a feel to see how it's going to go. If it's going to be a whole bunch of blowouts or if it's going to be some good basketball being played on both sides and there'll be some close games. All right. So that's all I have for y'all today. We ain't going to go too much into that on NFC East and NBA Streets. We're going to go over the Pacers and more of the Thunder. And I'll be back with y'all. Give me a couple weeks. I'm gonna get it popping. And I'm gonna start doing more videos. But that's Lee Love. I'm signing off. Remember, it's Eagles over everybody. Spurs over everything, bro. And I do mean everybody. All right. Holla at y'all later. One.